There are moments in music that are rehearsed. There are moments that are performed. And then there are moments that just happen. Unplanned moments, unscripted, unavoidable. And that happened in Cotonou, Benin Republic, in one of Africa's biggest music, um, you know, whatever, on stage, where Tiwa Savage was on stage, one of Nigeria, Africa's biggest music star. And for a brief moment, this superstar disappeared. And what remained was a woman, a song, and a truth that refused to stay quiet. Welcome to Stand in Your Power. The city was alive. The crowd was ready. Thousands gathered to see one woman, Tiwa Savage, an icon, a pioneer, a voice that helped shape a modern Afrobeat. This wasn't just another concert, or let me say, this wasn't just another concept stop. This was Cotonou, a city that understands rhythm, a city that understands emotion, a city that understands soul. And then the music changed. The music changed. And what did we see? Somebody sang, "Gonna love me one day." When the first notes of somebody's song filled the air, something shifted. This wasn't just a hit song. This was a confession. This was one of Tiwa Savage's confession. A song about longing, about wanting love that is gentle, love that is secure, love that is real. This was Tiwa Savage's truth about, desiring partnership, not performance. And as Tiwa sang, her voice carried strength. But our eyes carried something totally, totally different. Let's watch this. And that was Tiwa Savage. Halfway through the song, her voice fluttered. Halfway through the performance, Her voice shook. Her voice shook not because she forgot the lyrics, not because she missed a cue, but because the lyric of that song remembered her. She paused. She breathed, or she took a breath, and then the tears came. Not dramatic, not staged. This was just a human moment. For a moment, the stage light felt too bright for what she was feeling. And then there goes the crowd's response. The audience were singing along. They were cheering her on. Something powerful happened next. The crowd did not go silent. No, they did not rush her. Rather, they held her. This was thousands of voices. Sang the song back to her, sang our own song back to her, not as fans, but as witnesses. This for me was a beautiful moment in art. In that moment, the audience became the support system. The audience became the choir. The audience became the reminder that vulnerability does not weaken art. Rather, it completes it. That moment touched me. It touched me so much. Okay? To understand why this moment hit so deeply, you have to understand Tiwa Savage's story. This woman has lived in the public eye as a mother, as a wife, as a woman navigating love, loss, and reinvention under constant scrutiny. At some point, I had criticized her. I criticized what she was wearing at some point. Did I dislike her? No, I loved her, but I just couldn't stand what she was wearing at some point. She has lived under constant scrutiny. Is it the humiliation we want to talk about? OMG. Is it the scandal? Leaving that aside, somebody's song isn't just about romance. No. Somebody's song is about emotional safety. Somebody's son gonna love me one day. I done there way too far, don't stand away or whatever. Okay? It's about wanting love. It's about wanting emotional safety. I remember when that song came out, that I think it was in 2021, I was going through it. And for the very first time I heard the song, I connected to it. I sat down. It was in the night. I was outside. I was going through it. That was the time that somebody's son told me that he wasn't attracted to me, the man I married. That was the time that somebody's son told me that he married me out of pity. That was the time somebody's son told me that he married me because I got pregnant. That was the time somebody's son told me that it would end me, it would buy me, and nobody would be able to do anything about it. That was the time I sat down, listening to that song for the very first time, brought tears to my eyes. I put that song on replay over and over again. Somebody sang gonna love me one day. Elelele. And for me, it was like, okay, even though you are going through it, this is not a time to give up. That was what that song meant to me. Like, hey, you can't give up. Somebody would love you one day. Okay? That song is about wanting to be chosen without struggle. That song is about you being loved without proving your worth. It's about you being held without explanation. And for me, when an artist sings a song long enough, sometimes the song stops being a performance and it starts being a mirror. I knew from the first day I watched the video of that song, I knew that song meant something deep to Tiwa because of the things that she had gone through. And you know, there's a time in your life when you sing the song, you'll be like, hey, I've been waiting for so long. And the emotions just come in. See, society tells women to be strong, but only in ways that are palatable. Society tells women cry quietly. Society will tell us heal privately. Society will tell us perform perfectly. But that night, Tiwa Savage cried publicly. And in doing so, she gave permission. She gave permission to women to feel deeply, to want love loudly, to admit that success does not cancel emotional needs, that even queens get tired of carrying everything alone. You know, and that brings me to the bigger conversation. By morning, the clip was everywhere. And the bigger conversation is the social media, you know, outbox, their reaction. Not because she cried. Okay? That clip was everywhere, not because she cried, but because people recognized themselves in her tears. Single women, married women, healing women, hoping women, men too. Seeing the emotional weight women often carry in silence. Everybody saw it, and this was resonance. Okay? It was resonance. That night in Cotonou, Tiwa Savage reminded us of something powerful. It reminded me that music is not just sound. Music is memory. Music is desire. Music is feeling. Music is truth. And sometimes the bravest things or the bravest thing an artist can do is feel the song in front of everyone. How can you minister the song when you don't feel it? I remember those days when I was in the choir, rehearsing the worship songs. For you to express it, you have to feel it. And there are times when you are performing on stage and you forget that you're performing and you just go into how that song speaks to you. Okay? If this moment touched you, if you've ever wanted love without struggle, if you've ever had to pause because your emotions caught up with you, you are not weak. You are human. I need you to drop a comment in the comment section. Okay, what did this moment mean to you? Do well to like the video, subscribe for more deep, stories like this that bring healing, that show us that we can be human. Share this video with someone who needs permission to heal. With all that being said, what are the life lessons? What are the life lessons we can learn from Tiwa Savage's moment? See, when she paused mid-performance, the world didn't just witness a concert moment. The world witnessed a mirror. One woman's vulnerability unlocked. And it unlocks truths many of us have been carrying quietly. And here are a few lessons that we all can learn. Okay, lesson number one that I was able to see from here is that strength and vulnerability can actually coexist together. You don't lose your power when you feel deeply. What you do is you actually humanize your power. Tiwa didn't crumble on that stage. She stood in her truth. The lessons? You can be accomplished. You can be confident, and you can still feel tender. Feelings don't cancel your strength. They only complete it. Another thing I learned from this story, or this, I was just looking at it and I was like, wow, there's a lot of lessons to unpack here. Success does not replace emotional needs. This woman is an achiever. She's been there, done that, gotten all the accolades. Okay, she's gotten the recognition, money, title, applauses, but none of this erase longing. None of this substitutes for emotional safety. You wanting love, softness, and companionship isn't weakness. It is wiring. So don't shame yourself for wanting what is natural. Like I said earlier, sometimes song isn't just music. It is memory. Okay? These are words you can sing for years, until one day the words sing you like it did Tiwa on stage. When something triggers emotions, it's not random. Is your inner self asking for attention? Is your inner self saying, listen? And at that moment, she paused and she listened. And the tears came rolling. And looking at Tiwa on stage, I saw a woman that is allowed to pause. And I'm here to tell you, you are allowed to pause. Tiwa paused. In a world that is obsessed with performance, right? Pausing feels like rebellion, but sometimes stopping to breathe is not failure. It is witness. It is wisdom. You don't owe anybody a perfectly uninterrupted performance in your life. You can pause like Tiwa did on stage. She took a pause. She felt the moment. She took in the moment and the emotions came in. Sometimes in life, we need to pause. Okay? Another thing I learned here is, look at our put together Tiwa. Very put together, pretty woman, beautiful. But being put together doesn't mean you should be numb. You can have everything together and still feel empty in some places. Emotional honesty is not disorganization. It is self-awareness. I see a woman that is self-aware, aware of what's going on at that moment, and was able to take it in. And when Tiwa paused, they didn't judge her. They carried her. When I watched that video, it brought tears to my eyes. And it told me another thing. It told me that community matters more than image. The right people won't weaponize your vulnerability. They will meet you there. So choose environments where softness is safe. The crowd met Tiwa in a vulnerable state, and they sang that song back to her. Sometimes, as a preacher, as a content creator, as a whatever you do in life, as a life coach, sometimes your own words will be preached back to you. Another thing I learned from this is you don't have to be palatable to be respected, especially you women. Society prefers women being strong but silent. But Tiwa's script, Tiwa rejected that script. You don't need to shrink your emotions to be taken seriously. That was authenticity on stage. Authenticity commands its own respect. And for the men watching this, another thing I told myself is men need to understand that emotional safety is also a love language. This moment was a reminder that emotional safety is not optional. It's foundational. Many women aren't asking for your perfection. They are asking to be held emotionally without having to explain, without having to perform, without having to demand it. I'm trying not to make this video too long. I don't want to talk too much. And looking at it brought me to a point where I had to remind myself that healing is not linear, even when you are at the top. Ashake sang it, said, lonely at the top, lonely, lonely, lonely. Money on my mind. There's no level of success where healing becomes unnecessary. Okay? Growth isn't about you arriving. It's about you allowing yourself to feel yourself as you evolve. And the journey of healing sometimes is okay. Sometimes you will break down. Sometimes you ask yourself questions. Tiwa is on a journey of healing as well. And lastly, I want to say this to us. You are not weak for wanting love. Wanting love doesn't make you desperate. Wanting peace doesn't make you needy. Wanting connection doesn't make you incomplete. Rather, it makes you human. It makes you human. That night in Cotonou wasn't about a breakdown. In my opinion, it was about a breakthrough. It was about a reminder that behind every strong exterior is a heart that deserves care. If you have ever paused mid-sentence, if you have ever paused mid-dream, if you have ever paused mid-song because emotions caught up with you, you are not alone. You, my friend, are awake. So now it's your turn. Which of these lessons spoke to you most and why? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. My name is Femi, and I just came on to remind you to continue to stand in your power. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye.